Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Tilo Mad coming at you with another video. And in this video, we're going to do the recap to round one of this new GAC season. And I got to say, this was hot mess. This escalated quickly and it became one of the craziest GACs I've been a part of in a long time. But can't wait for you guys to check it out. But first things first, let's take a look at my opponent. We're going to see his mods as well as we're going to see what's going on with him and who he is. So the opponent is going to be Ninja Panda. So let me actually fix myself. So Ninja Panda is a pretty decent player. You're going to see that he has 2 million GP on me right there. So we're looking at a 9.02 million GP to my 7.26 million GP. And you gotta say, first things first, is what I've been facing pretty recently in the new GAC system. So I've been getting a little bit used to being the underdog. And you're also gonna see that even in ships GP, top 80 GP, but where I do get him is on lifetime. I do have him on offensive wins, undersized wins, clears, and defensive. So I do get the notch under the belt there, but still, 2 million is 2 million. That's tough. All right, next up, you're going to see our mods right here. Mod-wise, he does have the advantage on 6 dot, and I do have the advantage on 25 speeds and pretty much everything else. So we do have the mod advantage. He just has more 6 dots than me, so at least we have that. Next up, we're going to see his characters, his GLs. You're going to see that he does have 6 Galactic Legends to my 5 Galactic Legends, which isn't bad. He has Lord Vader. I don't have Lord Vader. Soon, hopefully, we'll kind of rectify that and I'll be a part of the big boys, but right now, definitely not. He also doesn't have Star Killer, so that's really key for us. That could have been big with Lord Vader and Star Killer. Could have been a problem. We are about to unlock Star Killer, so hopefully by next week that'll kind of give us a little bit of a balancing, especially fighting guys with another GL than us. Other than that, these are the speeds. Pretty relative. We got a little bit better mods than our opponent, as the graph showed, so you can see the difference there. And then we also do have 7-star Executor, and my opponent only has a 6-star. But you're gonna see that doesn't even come to play. Things get ugly, guys. All right, next up, let me hide that. We are going to show the GAC. So bear with me, this is going to be the first time me actually running it like this, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. Let me know how you guys appreciate this kind of setup. All right, so first things first, I opened up the board. He had already attacked, and you're going to see the bottom zone is cleared. We're in the bottom zone. He did attack my Ray twice, which was really good for me because I took JTR off the squad. I wanted to form another resistance squad and not have her there as another clutch, even though it is a little bit easier with a C. However, we did manage to get the hold, so I'm excited about that, especially with the double tank in there with Zalbar and Hodo. Other than that, he did one-shot both my gas and my JNK, and I'm really wondering what one-shot my Iden. He does have a Wampa, but his tenacity was relatively low compared to my potency on my Iden. I believe she was at 89, and his tenacity was really, really low. I think it was in the 30s or the 40s or 50s, around there. So I want to know if he hit me with the Wampa. I did ask him. He joined the chat, but he never replied, so I may never know until Swoga comes out with the history. All right, in the back zone, he did attack a little bit there too. You see he gets a one-shot there, and then he left the Dash squad and the CLS squad. And shout outs to Zareth on his offensive and defensive teams. That team right there, that CLS, super underrated. I jacked that from him. Definitely go check out that video. That thing was awesome. And then he also did attack the top zone, but he failed on my Darth Revan squad with Nest. So was excited about that. And the rest of them he did not attack. So that's always good, especially for us going into my opponent's teams. So first off, he sets me a Lord Vader. This is the usual defense of what my opponent sets for me. He sets the Lord Vader, he sets the DR, the gas, and a pretty solid Qui-Gon team too. So not the easiest on front walls, but not a lot of GLs. He usually only places 2, and the other one being Ray, which I kind of estimated was going to be in the back. Up top, he did set the Mall Squad, the Boss, and a GG, and a Bounty Hunter Squad led by Boba Fett. This is something that he has done in his previous history. I wasn't too big of a fan on the other Bounty Hunter squads, kind of dealing with the leftovers, but it is what it is. All right, right here, we're going to see this is going to be my first battle right here. So we went against this Lord Vader squad using the Fennec counter. And this is really the reason that I put SLKR on defense, and which is going to allow me to put SLKR on defense further into the season. This has been a really, really good counter, even with the changes of them kind of reducing the armor shreds back to number 2 instead of 4. It still works out pretty good for us. Even though this fight gets a little bit sketchy, you're going to see here, we open up doing exactly what we want, but man, oh man, Lord Vader goes off. And I gotta say, Fennec, I have her at R7. She's been really, really clutch for me. Look at the damage output that she's bringing out. We managed to take out the Short Trooper, which I wanted to focus on first, just because he has that crit immunity. And then we went on to that thick Stormtrooper. And then we take out his Moff Gideon, and you're gonna see that I managed to take out all the characters before Lord Vader goes into this ultimate. So no negative mastery right there. All we have to deal with is Lord Vader, and you're gonna see this man takes out my Fennec. I was so close to getting the heal up on her, and I personally, in this fight, I was a little bit scared. I was like, do I have enough DPS to take this out? Because it would have been tough. We have the characters, we just don't have the DPS engine and Fennec, but we do manage to put in a lot of damage and managed to actually keep Lord Vader at a relatively low health pool. We're dipping back between the yellow and the red. Mando's pulling in that work, calling Zam into assist, which is really, really nice. And I gotta say, that buff from Fennec, even without her, manages to get us through and get that 70. All right, so the next fight that we're gonna come across is going to be a Cian Watt. I was really wondering if I wanted to take in Qui-Gon Omicron with JKA in there and try to take out this gas, but the one thing that really deterred me from that, this squad was an absolute monster when it comes to relics. We're talking about everyone was at least R7 with R8 Arc and R8 gas. So I was a little bit scared of going in there with Qui-Gon, but I do want to test it in the future. I think if I can take it out with Qui-Gon, that's going to open up a lot for me. I'm not going to have to take C against these gas teams, and it allows me to put those CLS squads, the Dash and the CLS squad, on defense. So I'm really excited to kind of test out the opportunities in that. Also been seeing a little bit of Wampa action too. So Wampa has a possibility to take out this gas squad. I haven't seen it really succeed, but I've seen it get to that point where it's a 1v1 versus Wampa and gas, and that's where Wampa fails. But I really am wondering if it's an issue of mods and if an issue of making Wampa as beefy as possible that can get you past that hump, which is gas. But anyways, Sif goes off, he gets his ultimate, takes it out, managed to burn him on, he hits the big hit, and we get a 64. So I'm excited about that. We're doing pretty well at this up to this point. Next fight that we go against is this Trooper versus DR squad, and this is the full DR squad with Talon, so they are a little bit speedy. And you're gonna see this because they had a full R7 DR squad. I do not manage to get the kill on Bastila, and from there, these guys just get absolutely wrecked. I know for a fact if we got the kill on Bastila, we could have did it. It's just we weren't able to do it, and you're gonna see us just get absolutely destroyed. I was a little bit tough. That one hurt a lot, but we did have our Qui-Gon Omicron, which was good for us. I managed to get in there, and you're gonna see Anakin just goes off. If it wasn't for Talon, he would have took out the whole squad right there, and we end up with the 42. All right, now we got to go against his Qui-Gon, and I end up going against it with the SLKR Revan squad, just because I'm so used to this. I don't have Bad Batch up and running, so this is the one that I really opt to. Usually this fight is max banners, but you're gonna see I was kind of thrown off a little bit by his cam actually being faster than my Revan. I was like, man, he really had this team decked out. Because of that, exhausted savior on my Revan, and you're gonna see we end up with not max banners, and they go really hard at my old Ben, and they managed to take him out. But old Ben managed just to give us a little bit of the boost that he does provided upon his death, and it really just pushes us forward, and really just a good fight overall. I'm happy with the performance, even though we did miss out on 2 banners. Other than that, the rest of them managed to get good banners, and it's just a matter of time, just trying to get through this fight. Ayla was always another really good character in there fighting those stuns, so we end up with a 62 there. And if the gameplay is a little fast, I sped this up. Try to make this as chewable as possible, especially for everybody out there. Didn't want to like have an hour video on GAC. I was like, hey, ain't nobody gonna watch that. We'll see if anybody watches this. But all right, the next fight, we open up the back zone and we see Ray, which I anticipated. I even said it in the Twitch stream. I said 100% Ray is in the back, just based on the 2 front walls, which were very similar to what he's done the last couple of weeks. And you're going to see we did manage to get Ray into damage immunity before the ultimate, which I really like doing, just because it allows us to go straight after her when she's done doing her ultimate. It's just a matter of surviving and making sure Jolie survives. That way we can get everybody up, just in case anybody dies, which Yoda is a really big risk of dying. The next biggest problem is obviously JTR playing those heal immunities and really just being the engine to that squad. But you're going to see that, man, once she goes to the ultimate, this girl just stalls. I tried to get as much banners as possible, but at the same time trying to go in the system, going around everyone and trying to take her out. Big hit right there. It manages to take out Ray, manages to take out R2 and Hodo. I was like, dang, JML at R9 is no joke. The guy is an absolute monster. We already got JTR into damage immunity. We can take her out. I wanted BB-8 to stay in damage immunity to try to get me as much banners as possible. But you're going to see that he just pops out and he really kills that plan. And we only end up with 62 and only two people with max protection. So a little bit of tough. All right here in this fight, we go against the Mon Mothma with the EP, Mara, and Vader squad. Reason I was able to do this is because their Kyle Katarn was a little bit on the slow end, allowing my Vader to go first and just run the train on them. You're going to see that they do not take one turn. So we take out Pow right there. We're going after Rebel Scout, and we just managed to run the train on these guys. I was really happy with the performance right here, and just goes to show he's got a relic Kyle Katarn. You gotta have this guy at least 286. That's what I have mine at. I believe mine's at 287. But once you get this man to 286, he becomes so much better, especially if you're going to be placing him on defense. His base speed becomes 400. Not his base speed, but his starting speed becomes 400. And then really limits counters, especially counters like this, like the EP, Mara, and Vader squad that can absolutely devastate this. And it just makes them exhaust a heavier team. But we get a 65 right there. And this was really exciting for me because this is the first time that I've actually got to use Wampa in GAC. I didn't have it the last week of the last season, so I was a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, trying to figure out which ones to really press. I started off with the bonus protection, started roaring as much as possible, trying to get that TM. I really avoided using the basic, and I think that kind of helped. Just to get me to the point to where I could get my bonus protection again, which you saw right there, and just allow his counter attacks to be the basic. I only use basics when I couldn't, when there wasn't the opportunity to use it, which right there was one of those opportunities. But he did excellent. I'm really excited to see the limit of the Wampa's capability. But if these guys are going to put GG on the squad, it's really going to change my game plan too. Night Sisters have been one of my counters to GG for the longest. I really relied on them. I was almost a crutch to get past GG for pretty cheap. But now having Wampa, this could change things and maybe even possibly change my Night Sisters. I may place it on defense. I may keep it as offense for a cleanup, and maybe they don't become as useful as they once were. All right, in this fight, this is the point that things start getting a little bit crazy. So I've ran this counter a couple times now, GG for small. The speeds on these teams were not the greatest in the world. So I had a chance to get past this, but man, Bam with Maul is a problem, especially with this. Whistling Birds, you got the damage immunity, and I've done this fight before. You can look at my Swoga.gg. We've gotten past this. It's not the cleanest of manners, but we do manage to get past it. But him having these teams or these characters at higher relics really causes a problem. And you're going to see once Bam lets off these Whistling Birds, which he does right here, he just deletes my whole team except for GG. So he's got 21 stacks right now. I'm trying with all my might to get past this guy, and boom, there we go. The whole team is deleted. GG's by himself. They're getting their protection and health back because of freaking Bo-Katan. And we go in there, we fail. All right, and this one, I think I might have been on baby tilt or a little bit flustered that I really didn't think this fight through. This is probably one of the most embarrassing moments, and honestly, I didn't even think I was gonna put out this video just because of this fight. So we go in there with Bam. Bam would have been a logical counter, but you're gonna see that we do everything correctly. Boba's in there. He's getting Bam stacks. He's getting himself TM because of the crits. But instead of going for dash, which would have been really beneficial for us, we go for Vander Chewy being R7, which was a complete misplay, because if they die from Whistling Birds, we get the win. Simple as that. We get not the win, but they stay dead when they die from Whistling Birds. And you're gonna see, because of Vander Chewy, because of his survivability, the amount of health that he had, I do not take a dent off this guy. I managed to hit him with 3 Whistling Birds and nothing. I try to get him to the point to where he doesn't have protection and try to hit him with Boba. Nothing. This guy was an absolute unit. But I think if we would have went in there, changed our game plan a little bit, and kind of dwindled down everybody, especially Dash with all those crazy hits, that we could eventually left Vandor for last and took him out. Just feels bad. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes I've ever done in GAC, and just not thinking the fight through, which is sad. I honestly, I think I had an opportunity. As you can see, even though we're not focusing on Dash, he's still taking tons of damage. I know for a fact that first Whistling Bird, if we would have went in there, we probably could have taken him out. Been talking so much, my voice is getting a little crazy. But all right, yeah, this fight goes on. We take it down all the way to the wire too. Full 5 minutes of pure agony, and then I finally realize what I have to do. So I have 17 stacks right there. We almost get him, but it's just not enough. We hit the wire, it's a wrap. All right, in the next fight, before the next fight, I see that my opponent's starting to attack. So I was getting a little bit stressed out. We're starting to hit tilt a little bit. I see that he got past one of my squads. It took him 3 tries to get past this CLS squad. That CLS squad is very underrated, and you don't imagine how fast that team is. He's in there for a second attack on my dash squad. He did manage to take out Vandor and a couple other ones. So he's in there for a prime position to take it out. All right, next up, I decide to go back to that dash squad because I really want to clear it, and I end up using a Maul. So at this point, I really commit to clearing that bottom zone, knowing that my opponent's probably going to clear that bottom zone instead of going after the top and then basing it on ships as well. I'm pretty sure he's not going to get past that top wall. So I'm like, okay, I just need as much banners as possible, and I need the zone clear banners because I don't feel super comfortable that we're going to be able to get to the top. So I went in there with my Maul squad, and man, the double taunt really wrecked us. Not being able to focus on Vandor really sucked. So I'm trying to time everything. If you see right here, I'm trying to keep as much stacks as possible onto my Maul. That way he can be ready, just in case both IG-11 and L3 aren't taunting, then we can just go full ham onto Vandor. Because Vander's got to be the number one. He's the number one threat on this squad, definitely. So you see that they're just putting in the work. L3. God, I hate L3. Especially this man's L3. He had her at R7, and she was an absolute tank. And she was just a pest too. And then you throw in IG11. Every little bit, every couple of moves, he would throw in his taunt as well. It was kind of hard to get by, and I was like, man, this is a problem. And you see that we're down to 2 minutes now. This is another one that takes a full 5 minutes. This was crazy. I was not expecting this. The one thing that I can take away from this that I really, really like is that my Droidica was putting in some damage. I got an absolute crazy set on my Droidica. Believe it's 255 with a full offensive set. And right there, boom, Canderous is dead. Right here, you're going to see Bo-Katan dies from freaking IG11. So now it's only down to Jango and Maul, and I get an opportunity for Vandor. I'm like, man, with all this bonus protection, ain't no way. I go for the AoE, and nope, don't get it. But man, Jango's right there, and Droidica comes in for the clutch. So I'm really excited at this point. We only have 5 seconds left. I'm like, please just let me take out this dash, and we do. I go in there, and I'm like Tiger Woods in that junk. I'm like this. I'm celebrating. You think it would be Game 7 right there. All right, and next up, we end up going with the Bad Batch. My Bad Batch is hot trash. The only one at 7 stars is Wrecker, but Wrecker is like gear 7. Echo and Hunter are both gear 11, but they're only like 4 or 5 stars. Tech is 3 stars at like gear 7 as well. We do manage to get past it. Really good squad. I've been using them as cleanup for a little bit now, and man, I needed them right here. You're going to see all the other teams I end up trying to use, and I was trying to be as cheap as possible, but we get past it. A 29. Happiest 29 I have had in a long time. And you're going to see we pull ahead. So 914 to 878. I was celebrating right here, but I knew it wasn't over because he did get past that bottom. So now it's a battle of the tops. And he's in there with my Mon Mothma. But like I mentioned earlier, my Kyle Katarn is running a 287. So that puts him above 400 speed. And I knew he was going to be a tough out. So right here, I had the hard decision. I know I'm not going to get through Maul. There ain't no way. There ain't no way I'm going to get through Maul. Bosk kind of scares me just because it has Grief Mando. It has Jango. So I decided to go with the Boba squad, even though it does have Zam Omicron. My last good team is Night Sisters. We're down to the wire. We use everything in our roster pretty much to kind of get past that. Because the way I set my offense up, mistakes are not my friend. I have to be as clean as possible because I stretch myself really thin with the defense I set. But right there, we do manage to focus down Boba, and we do take him out. Once Boba's gone, that was the biggest threat because of his executability, which could be a permanent death. Now that Boba's left, we take out Zam, we go after the rest, and it's just a matter of just trying to ensure that Daka stays alive. Daka gets the revive on Mon Mothma, and we take out Dengar. Easy money right there. 60 banners, and this really put the nail in the coffin for my opponent. I go back to check what he's been doing. I'm like, man, is he close? Because I'm not sure, because my opponent took 4 GLs on offense and some pretty solid teams as well. He's still in there with Mon Mothma. He's really battling it out. I end up going back and fighting some of these boss team. I'm not going to show you guys those fight. We do it twice. We use a couple of the cheaper squads, and I got to say, it was a big problem. Bosk with the rest of those characters absolutely just ran a train on us and destroyed us. So I'm not going to show you guys those fights because it's not even worth it. But what I am going to show you is the end result right here. So the end result happened, and 9 minutes on the board. I go to check if he did Mon Mothma, and he failed. They don't have protection or health missing. I knew I was pretty much safe at this point. My trail squad was pretty beast with Malik in there, and he had already tried the Revan squad, and ain't no way he's gonna get past it. But yeah, this is what happened. We ended up with the win. We got a 90, 974 and an 878. And the funny thing was that this is one of the things that we talked about during the Mad Awesome Show. And if you guys don't know, it's a podcast that I do with Calvin Awesome. Link is going to be down below in the description. But we talked about ugly wins, and this is one of them. It's just funny that it happened in round one. I said it doesn't matter how I win, how ugly it is, as long as I get that green check at the end of it. And we're gonna get the green check right here. So excited because this is the first week of GAC. This is the heaviest weighing on your ranking. So I'm trying to go 3-0, and I got some monsters in the bracket, but if we can go 3-0, we get closer to the end goal, which is top 1,000. Top 1,000 is the goal, but I gotta go 3-0. Oh, throwing out bars now. But all right, guys, if you guys enjoy this one, let me know. I've had you guys for long enough. It's been 26 minutes. So let me know if you guys appreciate these. I'm going to try to keep these kind of coming out the day after GAC. And I like it. It's Monday morning quarterback pretty much for me on my GAC. I can kind of review what happened and hopefully learn, because it's always good to go see the footage of the game the day after. But all right, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Make sure you hit that like button, sub to the channel, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Been doing daily content. So yeah. All right, guys. Peace.
Bye, Felicia.